Next up is Jeffrey Myers, who's the Center Director at Gay Alliance. Jeffrey?
I bring greetings from our Executive Director, Scott Fearing, who is in Philadelphia at the Creating Change Conference this weekend. The Creating Change Conference is the largest gathering of LGBTQ activists in the nation. Creating Change has created opportunities for many thousands of committed people to develop and hone their skills, celebrate victories, build community, and be inspired by visionaries of our LGBT movement and allied movement for justice and equality. Change has happened in our country. Our community is under attack, and we at the Alliance know that knowledge is power. It is time for us to arm ourselves with knowledge. It is time for us to join together in community and be vigilant, and our voice is now our weapon. I guess by now you can tell I'm not from Rochester. I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama. I was fortunate to have progressive parents who taught me that my voice matters, to speak up when I see injustice, to build bridges in community, that even though we may speak different languages, have different religious beliefs, or our skin may be different in color, we all belong to one human race. Our sexual orientation and gender identity defines us under the LGBTQ rainbow. We must not forget other marginalized groups who are also under attack by our current administration. We must not alienate the support of our allies. It will most certainly take all of us joining forces to have our voices heard. Complacency is not an option. Have faith, my friends, for there has never been a better day to stand up for what we believe in, for our beliefs, for our values, to support the oppressed, the vulnerable. The size of this task is laid bare, and while it is a great one, it's certainly not insurmountable. Now is the time for us to feel called to do more, to put down our smartphones and other devices guised at distraction and get back to the bare essentials. Tell your story. Get your voice out there. Engage, ignite, advocate, be relentless and fearless. Recognize this moment for what it is, a moment to secure the future of the next generation. Do we fight for inclusion, equality, and justice, or do we bury our head in the sand? Our identity is not waiting to be defined, it is demanding definition. Where do you stand and how do you fight for your values? We are not the others. We are human beings living our lives the best we can. In the next 4 years, we must work harder than we ever have. It is a time to break into the world of service and collaboration, to stand up and volunteer. The Alliance Speakers Bureau is a message of having voices heard. My experience has been that those that are afraid of the others really don't know who we are. By telling our stories, we become relevant. We become human. The wall of prejudice begins to crumble when you approach it on a human level. Love does trump hate, but that love must be fluid and moving with action. There are so many local groups in Rochester that need us to take the time to volunteer. We must stand up and speak out against injustice and bullying. We must advocate for immigration reform. We must protect women's health and reproductive rights. We must stand up for people of color. We must help sexual assault victims. We must support our LGBTQ community. We must feed the hungry and clothe the homeless. We must resist policy changes for people with disabilities. We must fight for trans rights. These are just a few of the examples of communities that are now under attack in our country. The Alliance has been around for over 4 decades in the Rochester community. Our LGBTQ Resource Center has the resources to get each and every one of you here today in touch with agencies in Rochester that need you to step up and volunteer. Look at the number of people here today. If we all just did one thing, what a difference we can make. I invite you to personally contact me at the Alliance, and with the help of our hundreds of volunteers, let us be your resource to find the place where you can stand up and make change happen for the better. I am a lucky man. I can live my life authentically and have pride in the work that I do. Yesterday, this note and fabulous drawings were given to the staff of the Alliance. Dear staff and volunteers of the Gay Alliance, on this dark day in our country, we want to say thank you for bringing the light and the voices of equality and humanity. Thank you for standing up for our sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, neighbors and friends in the LGBTQ community. We are filled with gratitude. Love, Mark and Christy. Dear Gay Alliance, thank you for standing up for LGBTQ rights. I know Donald Trump is president, but if we keep working hard, we can defeat him, and I will be right there with you the whole time. Thank you. Love, Anna. Dear Gay Alliance, thank you for standing up for transgender people's rights against Trump. Love, Ian. One family made a difference in our life yesterday. This loving action breathed life back into our voices and reminded us that we at the Alliance are champions for LGBTQ life and culture. The work that we do individually and collectively will make America great again. It takes one voice to create change. I challenge you to join me and let's create a chorus of voices that will send a resounding message to Washington. We are here and we will not go away quietly. Thank you.
Next up, we have Renee Shaw.